I'm gonna walk you through the exact system one of our clients used to add 13 recurring clients to his cleaning company. Did it in a single month without spending a nickel on advertising. If you run a residential or commercial cleaning business and you've got some capacity, implementing just the first 2 steps can actually get you results this week. All right, before we jump in, there's a couple quick filters that are gonna help. This works best if you've got good systems in place so you've actually got some capacity. That's one. Number 2 is you're not desperate. Desperation attracts nightmare clients like moths to a flame. So let's dive into exactly how to avoid desperation and attract the right clients on purpose without spending money on advertising. Step 1, we're gonna craft what I call a no-duh offer. So what's that mean? What's a no-duh offer? Well, we want your prospect to look at it and go, well, I'd have to be nuts not to do this. There's no risk in this for me. It's all upside. There's no downside. Alex Hormozi, believe it or not, does a great job on the power of an offer in his book, aptly titled $100 Million Offers. Highly recommend. I'll give you an example. The client I mentioned at the beginning used the free clean Friday. Well, that's a pretty bold offer, free clean, and we can get scared going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go broke. He gave away 13 free cleans in a single month, which I know is scary, right? If a clean's $100 in like cost, he spent $1,300. Well, and again, this is not a typical outcome. He got 13 recurring clients, 100%. We shoot for probably 60, 70%, 100%'s unrealistic. But adding, I don't know, $100,000 of recurring revenue in 1 month for 13 cleans, it's a great deal. And I want to tell you, this was a small local company, not a brand, not a franchise, not some, and I don't even think they're doing a couple 100,000 when we started. So this isn't a huge company that you couldn't be. All right, let me give you a couple examples of what could be no-duh offers. Number 1, a $7 clean. Not nothing, we'll talk about that in a second, but just an amount that's like, what? A lot of people do this weird $20 off or 10% off, but you're a buyer just like I am. As soon as you see that, you're like, they're just gonna jack up the price by 20 bucks and discount it, or we never trust it, and we don't, 20% off of what, right? But when you say $7 clean, if anything, we're like, that might be too cheap, right? You could even do a $37 clean. Again, we want it to be a deal where like, that'd be crazy not to take that. Another fun way, and humor and fun is a great way to get people to trust you and build a relationship, is you can say, pay what you think it's worth, right? Whatever you think it's worth, pay that. You could even do a $97 clean, but it comes with a $100 gift certificate. The theme of all 3 of these is twofold. Number 1, it's a great, like they're like, geez, oh Pete's, like how can I lose with this offer? Like it's really good, and it should give them a tremendous amount of confidence that you're all in, you're standing behind your offer because you're so confident in it. That's really what we're looking to do. Number 2, they all get some sort of payment, right? So you're like, if it's a $97 clean and I give them a $100 gift certificate, why don't I just give them $3? That doesn't make any sense. The reason is a customer, someone who gives you a credit card and you run it for any amount, is 10 times, at least 10 times more valuable than just a lead. So as soon as they give you your credit card, their credit card, and you run it, for any amount, even if it's not a profitable customer, they move from lead to customer, and that's a big deal. Second, it's just really nice because the whole goal of this offer is to move them into your regular service that's wildly profitable. And when you do so, you can just go, oh, here's, we're going to talk about how to do this in a second. But when you make the offer, go, yeah, we can get you on for $400 a month. You want us to just use a credit card on file? Much easier conversation than having them pull it out. They've already paid, right? Just like when you put your number in Amazon, they're like, you want to, or Uber Eats, like upsell, because they've already got your credit card, and you're a lot more likely to buy if you just click a button and have to start all over. All right, we're going to show you the math on how you can do this and how you can do it profitably. But for now, just think of as many offers as you can that would make your perfect prospect go, well, it'd have to be crazy not to do that. And the cool thing is on these offers is when you're offering to the right person, we're going to talk about that in a second as well, they'll call you and forget about the offer. So you're like, I'm so afraid too many people are going to say yes to this. And if you give it to the wrong person, there's some trouble. We're going to talk about that in a second. But the right people, oftentimes they just read the offer. They have that no duh moment where like, geez, oh Pete, they're going to do it for free or $100 gift certificate. This is a heck of a deal. And then when they call you, they kind of forget about that. They just in their mind go, I can trust these people. Just want to let you know as a bonus, you'll get people calling for your offer and not even try and take advantage of it. Now, we kind of alluded to it. You might be thinking, I'm gonna go broke giving away the farm. You're right if you do it wrong. So let's talk about how to do it right now in step 2. Let's jump in. Step 2, set your standards. Once you've got a no-duh offer that's amazing, we got to make sure we're only making this offer to people who qualify for it. Let's talk about the standards of what it takes for these people to qualify. On residential only, commercial doesn't have a problem with this, is can they afford it? And there's a couple, just talking to the person going, you kind of get an idea, but the best indicator on the residential side is home value, right? Just if you just do a little bit of common sense, if your average client's worth $400 a month and whatever this guy's rent, and again, renters are almost never a good person to make this offer. We want homeowners. They're more likely to invest in maintaining their home. So we want to talk about rent. If their mortgage is $1,600 a month likely, a $400 cleaning service is a ton, right? But if they've got an $800,000 house with a $6,000 mortgage, or they paid cash for an $800,000 house, in comparison, all of a sudden $400 a month to maintain that is super reasonable. So the first thing on the resident commercial, they should all be able to afford it. If they say they can't, they're lying, even if they're nonprofits. For residential, we just got to make sure they can afford it. Like I said, home value is a real good indicator there. Number two, we want to trade our no-duh offer for the opportunity to give a bid for recurring service. Now, they're not obligated, like a lot of people try and twist this offer and go, okay, well, I'll do a free clean, but after you sign up for a year's worth, that's not removing risk. That's trying to trick them, right? It needs to be, this is a straight up offer. You'll get your $100 gift certificate no what. You'll get your $7 clean no matter what. Whatever the offer is, you're gonna get. And all we're asking for is you tell me you're interested, right? We are trying to make clients out of this. So if you want to trick me and just be like, I don't even want this, I just want the offer, I suppose you can do that, but that's really not who this is for. This is for people that are at least interested in recurring services, and you'll let us give you a bid. No obligation. If you don't think our life will be better, your life will be better with us in it, say no. No big deal, big hug, we'll part friends. So requirement number one is on the residential side, they have money. For commercial and residential, the next requirement is they say, yes, we are interested in this service and you can give us a bid. We're not obligated to say yes, but we're gonna at least expect that you'll give us a bid. No big deal. The third thing is they're willing to give you feedback. So if they've got negative feedback, you're going to get them to say, they'll be honest with you and tell you, right? If they say, no, we don't want your bid, that's fine. We're not going to make them feel bad, but we want to understand why so we can make sure we fix it in the next one. So worst case, you get some really good feedback of they didn't do this or they didn't do that. That made me uncomfortable. And that's a problem that could cost you 5, 10, an infinite amount of customers in the future. You get an opportunity to solve that. So that negative feedback doesn't feel good, but it's actually quite valuable. Positive feedback, you're going to ask if they'll just leave you a 5-star review on Google. That's typically where we recommend you focus your reviews. You might have a different platform, but negative feedback comes right to you. That's going to be valuable, even though it doesn't feel good. Positive feedback, of course, going to you or the cleaners is nice, but they're going to say, I'm going to go for a 5-star review. So for commercial and residential, you're going to make sure that they give you their verbal, yes, we're interested in services and you can give us a bid. We're going to give you feedback. Good feedback is a review, maybe even a little 30-second video on your phone, whatever you're both comfortable with. And then for residential only, make sure you feel that they've got money based on their home value. So that is going to cover getting the right person. If the people you're making this offer to meet those criterion, you're going to do great. Now, I know some of you are thinking, even if I get the right people, math still exists, free is still free, I can't afford that. So let's make sure that we get your marketing math right in step number 3. Step number 3, understand marketing math. Let's just do this real quick. Assume you do 10 free cleans in a month, we kind of did this a little earlier, and each clean costs you $100. And again, you could be in San Francisco, maybe it costs $150. You could be in Dubuque, Idaho, maybe it costs you $87. Let's just figure $100. For 10 free cleans, that's $1,000. Now, again, we've been coaching forever. Nationwide, $400 for an every other week clean is very, very average. So let's just assume your average client is $400. Like we said, when we're coaching our clients through this, we're really looking for like a 60, 70%. We've had 100 a couple times, but it's unusual. We're looking for a 60, 70% conversion rate because there's reciprocity, right? You've made this amazing offer. You've done all this stuff in advance. They feel fantastic. So a good chunk should become clients. We're going to figure half. We're going to figure you do, I don't say far worse, but definitely on the bad end of how things would go. That would add $4,000 a month in MRR, monthly recurring revenue, or $48,000 a year in ARR, annual recurring revenue. 48 times what you spend. So you spend $1,000, you get $48,000 in annual recurring revenue. If they stay multiple years, you get more than that. Here's the crazy thing. People would love to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads or Google ads or local, whatever they can to get $4,000 in recurring monthly revenue. For some reason, to them, that seems like a great deal, which it is. But if they do $1,000 in free cleans and they do 10 free cleans and 5 take advantage and 5 don't, they get paid like, oh, that guy's, he was never gonna, and they kind of feel taken advantage of. But the cool thing is with math, it's just math. It doesn't matter if you gave 5 free cleans and they were never gonna buy. You feeling cheated or taken advantage of is a choice on your end. That's not the reality, right? Any more than you're taken advantage of when Meta runs your ads, and there's no even guarantee on that, right? So the crazy thing is, if you spend $1,000 on Meta and you make $4,000 in recurring revenue, there's really no extra bonus. When you do spend the $10,000 or $1,000 in the way that I'm coaching you to do it, in free cleans, again, you'll probably get the same or actually more, because someone you've done a free clean for that's already a client because they've already paid you something is much more likely to convert than a cold Meta lead. So not only are you going to convert more, but you get the goodwill, right? You get, as long as people keep their word, you get 10 positive reviews. That's a pretty good deal. And the likelihood that they're going to tell that story, go, oh my gosh, we did a 97, and we didn't use them for whatever reason, but you should. So you get all this goodwill that you don't even count. So sometimes, a lot of times, you'll get actually other deals and referrals. These guys will refer a lot better than a cold Facebook lead. All right, now that we're clear on the power of a no-duh offer made to the right people, and we've got a little bit of the math to back it up, let's see how to get that offer in front of a bunch of the best clients all at once, still without wasting any money on advertising. Now, real quick, if this math makes sense and you want some help building all of the systems you need to scale your cleaning company, there's a link below, check it out. But first, let me show you how to scale this thing right now without ads in step 4. Step 4 is moving from getting clients one-on-one to getting them in bunches. And the way that we're gonna do that is by creating a strategic alliance. Now, what's that? Well, competitors basically sell your exact same services to your perfect prospects. Strategic alliances sell different services, but to your same perfect prospects. On the residential side, this could be landscapers, HVAC companies, window cleaners, realtors, plumbers, anyone that kind of serves your perfect prospect. You just want high-end providers with high-end clients, not just someone that does any residential. You want people to do your residential, who you really want. Now, in commercial, this can be a little tricky because it depends on your niche, right? If your perfect prospect is property managers, they're gonna have a different set of vendors that they use than if it's car dealerships. So on the commercial side, any basically vendor that your perfect prospect uses and again offers different services to your exact same perfect prospect is going to be a great strategic alliance potential. All right, so next steps, we're going to stop right now and make a list of like 10, 15, 20 strategic partners, all of which have at least 20 of your perfect prospects. So you don't want someone that's got 10,000, they probably won't talk to you. You don't want to get someone that's 9 or 3, it's not worth kind of the time. So once you've got that, take now, pause, come back. Once you've got 15, 20, come on back, we'll go. Okay, hopefully you've got your 15, 20 strategic alliance potentials, people you're willing to reach out to, and maybe you're a little scared going, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to sell, it's going to be cool. Let me tell you how to do it so it'll be really easy, feel good for you, they'll love it, and you'll actually enjoy it. You're going to just give them a call, not an email, not anything weird, just call them and say, hey, my name is Mike Campion, I'm with Mike's Cleaning. I've got a bunch of clients looking for a good plumber or a good whatever they are, and I'm just looking for a good vendor to recommend, and I found you online, I thought you might be a fit. Do you mind if we talk for a couple minutes just to see if there's any way I can throw you some clients? You're gonna have a very high hit rate on that. Very few people are gonna say, no, I'm not interested in new clients. And if they are, that's not someone you wanna work with anyway, moving on. Again, that's why we want a list of 15 or 20. Even if you get 3 or 4 of these working, holy heck, can it transform your business? That's step 1. Step 2 is we're gonna ask questions about who their perfect prospects are and are not. This is gonna give you value in 2 ways. Number 1, when you ask good, intelligent questions about what they want, they're going to believe you're actually trying to help them, right? If I go, hey, can I send you some clients? And you go, sure. And I go, cool, bye. You're like, you don't even know what I do, or like, you know what I'm saying? You're just not gonna believe me, and why would you? I don't know anything. But if I say, who are your perfect clients, and why is that, and who are you looking for, and what don't you like, and if I did send them, how would that work? You're gonna be like, holy heck, this is a real thing, right? So that's what's gonna help them believe and want to work with you. And it's gonna help you because if they're super cavalier, oh, we take anyone, as long as they got money, we'll take it, we don't really care. For me, that's not a strategic alliance I'm really looking forward to spending time with. But if they are like, oh my gosh, we're super specific, we know exactly who we want, higher end people that expect a premium service, but they want to pay a premium price. We don't take complaint. Like if they start describing my perfect client, I'm like, perfect, this is who I want to work with, right? So that's the next step. Next, you're gonna ask them, and this is optional, but can be nice. We just want to give as much value. So when they hang up the phone, they're like, wow, this was phenomenal. I'm gonna go, hey, do you mind if I give you a 5-star review? Real quick, I don't mind giving 5-star review to people that I've spoken to and have an idea with. I'm not gonna in the review say I use their service if that's not true, of course, but I could say, hey, just got off the phone with Andreas, super great guy, absolutely recommend, something like that. And again, if that's not something you feel comfortable with, you don't have to. The real supercharged piece here that I love, send a handwritten note or even a little $5, $10, $15 gift. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Just thanking them for their time. That combination of steps I just outlined is going to position you as a solution, not a problem. It's not going to get the phone ring yet. We're going to talk about the next step, but it will make it anytime you call them, they're going to pick up the phone. If you want more on this concept psychologically, because it's very powerful, it's called reciprocity. Robert Cialdini wrote a book called Influence, excellent book. Chapter in there, reciprocity, kind of goes deeper into this. Now, like I said, you've laid a very powerful foundation, but the phone isn't going to ring without step 5. So let's jump into that right now. Let's jump into step 5 and leverage the no-duh offer you made earlier. How we're going to do that is you're going to reach out to that same list of strategic alliances. Now keep in mind, you've already talked to them, you had a great conversation, maybe left them a 5-star review, ideally you left them a little gift. I promise you, when you call them, they're going to want to pick up the phone. When they do, you're going to blow their mind. First of all, you're going to give them the ultimate compliment by saying, I've been thinking about our conversation. So just put yourself in their shoes for 1 second. You called them, asked if you could give them clients. You haven't asked them for anything yet, by the way. Asked if you give them clients, spent time getting clear on who their perfect client is, thanked them, offered them a 5-star review, sent them a gift, hung up, thought about them and how you could help them, and called them back. This is mind-blowing level of giving, which doesn't take a lot of your time, but is going to have them go, holy crap, this is amazing, and they're definitely going to want to start reciprocating the value. So I thought more about our conversation and how I could get you the most clients most effectively. And I'm happy to just refer them over. But what I do for my clients, and I can do this for you, is especially if it's a new client, I want to make it, and you can share some of the no-duh offer that you've learned here and go, we want to make it really easy for them to say yes. Remove all the barriers so they go, holy heck, I'd have to be crazy not to take that. So again, I'm happy to just tell my clients, here's Bob, give him a call. But if there's some sort of cool offer that was just super easy, I'd probably make it more often and I could just do a better job. Is there a no-duh offer that you'd like me to make my clients? And if they don't have one, help them come up with one. And this is awesome because even if these people never refer you, and they will, we're gonna tell you how that works, your clients are going to feel great. Could you imagine if you had a massage therapist like, oh yeah, the first massage is free, or you had a same thing with a landscaper, any of these cool offers, you could make all of your clients, hey, because you're my client, I got you this amazing discount with this other business. That's going to be phenomenal. So help them come up with their no-duh offer if they want. And if they don't want, go, no problem, I'm still going to refer you clients. You can just kind of share some of the concepts of this. There's a high barrier of entry. I'll give you a lot of referrals. You might get a client or two. If you make it a no-duh, easy, low barrier of entry, you'll probably get a bunch more clients, and I just want to help you get as many clients as possible. They'll probably be at the point where like, okay, maybe they give you no-duh offer. They'll probably give you a dumb one like 10% off or something. That's fine. And here's where it gets magic. You reverse it and go, hey, I want to put my money where my mouth is. This is how I grow my company. Let me give you and your clients a no-duh offer. And all of this we've been doing is to go right here. If they've got 100 clients or 200 clients and they give all of them your no-duh offer, the likelihood of you getting 5, 10, 15 in just one time is very, very high. And when you give them a no-duh offer, a bunch of things happen. This isn't even an ask. This is the only ask we give, and it's actually giving them, here's something I'd like you to give to your clients that I'm paying for, that you get credit for, and you're just likely to get a bunch of clients. This is just a mind-blowing strategy. And because you led by giving, they're psychologically primed to help, and this is what's going to send people your way. Because they've got a no-duh offer, because the only reason they wouldn't have sent before is they love you, but they're afraid their clients won't love you. But when you give them a no-brainer offer, they're going to be proud to tell their clients, look at this thing I got you, and you help them position it. You're not selling your clients on buying my stuff. I'm giving your clients this free thing because, and they do this all the time, right? You look at Amex, they connect with the airlines, and these people, they all, because Amex, you get a platinum card, like, I know this guy makes a couple $100,000 or whatever the case is. So they connect with other people who want Amex's information, and they give a bunch of free stuff that Amex gets credit for, but doesn't have to pay for. You're putting yourself in that same position. So just by doing this, this is likely to get the phone to ring. If it doesn't, you can keep calling, because the cool thing is every time you've called, you've brought value, and every time you call, you're trying to bring more value. Don't think you're going to need to follow up and call, but it's nice to, when you have a strategic relationship, check in with them every 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, take them to lunch, just build a relationship. But this will make your phone ring in bunches. Again, if you call 15, 20 of these and build 3 or 4 of these relationships, each one of these could give you 2, 3, 4 clients every month. This alone could build $1 million business. All right, now that the leads are coming, we want to turn them into recurring clients. What's that process to actually move them from lead to full price recurring clients. Let's dive into that in step 6. All right, great job. We're almost there. We're at the final step, step 6. We are going to actually convert these leads and these are high quality leads. If you do it the way that we've lined it out, we're going to convert them into high quality sales. So when they call, the first thing we're going to do is qualify them using the standards we covered in step 2. When they qualify, and if they don't, and you're like, how do I do it? You can just tell them and be honest. I'm a little business. We're trying to grow our company. This is really for this. You can even give them, you don't qualify for the no-duh offer, but I can give you, I'll usually do something at cost. So say a clean costs you $100, I can give you a $97 offer, something like that. So it doesn't cost you anything, but I still want to make sure my strategic, if it was me personally, I'm probably still going to give it to them as long as the bulk of my strategic partners are giving me good leads. If there's a couple not so great in there, I'm still going to do it for them. You don't have to, but if, just be honest and say, I'm a little business, we're trying to do, this is what we can do, right? So if they qualify, and they can afford it, right? Qualifies if they can afford it. They agree to give a recurring bid, feedback, all that good stuff. We're gonna schedule the clean. And speed to lead is really important here on the residential side. So on the commercial side, whatever you're gonna do, you wanna make sure you give that value as quickly as possible. If it's some free floor work or a gift certificate to that, or if you're, for commercial, if it's a 5-day week clean, they're not really interested in a free clean or a cheap clean or anything like that. So we'll have to figure out a different, big offer. On the residential, you want to schedule whatever your offer is probably going to involve an initial clean. Whatever is, you want the time to value be as quick as possible, ideally within 24 hours. People, especially on the residential side, are when they're hot, and they lose interest quick. So we want to make sure 24 hours, you're giving them value as quickly as possible. 48, you get past 3 days. By the time you come, they've already forgotten this conversation, they've lost interest. Okay, so assuming you schedule the first clean or you giving them value, ideally within 24 hours, you're gonna schedule the salesperson to follow up on the agreement. If you're the salesperson as the owner, fine. If you've got a salesperson, fine. But you're gonna have them get the feedback that they promised and give the bid that you promised, ideally when the cleaners are finishing up. So let's go residential. If the cleaners start at noon and they should be done around 4, you want the guy, the salesperson, to show up around 3:30. And they already know, because you already told them in the qualification stage, hey, for you to do this, we need, we've agreed that you're gonna give a bid, no obligation, and you're gonna give us your feedback. So you're just scheduling the appointment to give the bid and get the feedback, like you said. And the cool thing is once you go here, you're just gonna go through the regular sales process. I'm not gonna cover that here, we do that in other videos, but the big thing is just really understanding their pain. Most of the time, I'll give you the shortest, I got this from Jack Daly, the shortest sales masterclass on sales ever. Ask questions and listen. What that really means, if you want slightly less short, is really understand their pain. And most people they want to talk about how great they are and how bad their competition is, and they skip altogether what the client's pain is, which is what you want to talk about. So the whole sales process, again, I've got other videos where you go through it, but long story short, we're really gonna understand their pain and just offer to solve that pain for them. Like I said earlier, a typical in-home offer, not these, should qualify, especially if the owner's doing it, 60%, maybe 50% if it's a salesperson. With these qualified leads, like I said, it should be 70%, 80%. They should convert at a very, very high rate. Great job. You've got a step-by-step plan to add a bunch of high-quality clients in a very short period of time without spending any money on advertising. So let's talk next steps. Start by brainstorming some no-duh offers and just pick one to at least test first. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to take action. Number 2, take that list of potential strategic partners you made earlier and call at least one. If you enjoy it, call 2 or 3. You're going to be shocked at how quickly you can add clients with this system. Finally, we kind of touched on it earlier. If you want help turning this into a repeatable, scalable system that can actually scale $1 million cleaning company, the link's below. Now let's get to work.